Hey, oh my god, I almost took off my earring. I always like start talking without introducing myself, and I think I'm supposed to say my name. Come inside, and I'm always talking with my dog, but you never get to see the dog. Am I crazy? Am I talking with myself? Maybe. I guess we'll never know. No, she's barking. You're gonna listen to her. I'm not crazy. Keep barking so I don't look crazy. No, whatever. So, today, as you can see in the title, I'm going to be talking about songs that remind me of books, vice versa. Like when I was reading these books, I thought about these songs and like that. I will mention 10 books and more than 10 songs. Come here. So you'll see I'm not crazy. I do have a dog. Here. I'm not crazy. Okay, you can go now. So I'm gonna mention these 10 books and I'm gonna say like songs that reminded me of these books. Does that make sense? Yeah, whatever. So let's get right into it. The first book I thought about, it's the Infernal Devices trilogy, because yeah, it's supposed to be one book, but yeah, I wanted to talk about Clockwork Princess only, but it's kind of a spoiler, the song I think that relates to the Clockwork Princess, so I will not mention that song. And I'm going to say another song from the same artist, but it's not a spoiler, and it's called Best Years by 5 Seconds of Summer. That's my favorite band in the world. Like, I love 5 Seconds of Summer, and I've listened to them for many years now. So I even have a playlist. I'm gonna mention lots of playlists because I'm kind of like obsessed with playlists. Whatever. I'm gonna put an image of the playlist in the screen because I cannot show it to you. It's reflective, and you'll see my behind the scenes, which you don't want to see, believe me. And so the playlist has this song called Best Years from 5 Seconds of Summer, and like the lyrics are amazing. It's like he's saying like, I'll give you the best years of your life, and it's so beautiful, and it's like so relatable to them. Like 5 Seconds of Summer wrote so many, like there's another song called Better Man, also Will Herondale, that's like, with your love I'm a better man, and it's so beautiful. I want to cry. Yeah. And so that's what's saying the song, like, I'll give you the best years, and I want to hold your hair when you drink too much and carry you home when you cannot stand. You did all these things for me when I was half a man for you. I want to hold your hand while we're growing up. I'm gonna cry. And yeah, it's like that. It's one of my favorite songs of them. Yeah, I think that fits like the whole trilogy of the Infernal Devices without any spoilers. The other song I will not tell you. If I do a specific Infernal Devices video, I'll say it, but I will not tell spoilers. I'm sorry. So the next book is a Dowry of Blood. I haven't talked about this book in any videos. I think I read it in January, I think, this year. It's such an amazing book. I loved it. I know some people feel like it's overhyped. Some people love it. It's controversial, like all books, I guess. But I really like Dowry of Blood. I love, like, we have queer people, polyamorous relationship, and it's kind of historical. And it's basically the stories of I haven't read Dracula yet because I cannot get my hands on a copy in English. So yeah, but it's basically, a Dowry of Blood, it's like the brides of Dracula. I think that's how you explain it. Basically, I haven't read Dracula, so I'm dumb, but I enjoyed it anyways. You don't have to read Dracula. At least that's what I think. If you hear my dog in the background, I'm gonna ignore her, and you should too. because if I stop filming because she's barking, she will never stop. Fade. So yeah, and the song, did I say the song? I'm lost. I talked so much about Dowry of Blood. The song is Glory and Gore by Lord. You'll see there's lots of songs by Lord. I have a sickness. I love Lord so much, so yeah. I'm kind of sweating, can you tell? It's like shiny up here. Whatever, and the song, it's like, I don't know how to, it's like dark. All of these songs from Pure Heroine like fit the aesthetics of Dowry of Blood, kinda, I feel. So yeah, a Dowry of Blood, as I said, I told you how I like to explain the plot, because there's more to say about the characters, but I feel like you should read it without knowing like I did, like only knowing that it's about vampires, obviously, and there's blood, obviously. Fate, shut up. But you need to know that right off the bat, like, we get dead bodies and we get like war and a lot of shit. Like, it's true history, so you know, humans. Glory and Gore, it's like, and the cry goes out, they lose their minds for us, and how it plays out. Now we're in the ring and we're coming for blood. It's like perfect for like the book. And I love that song. It used to be my favorite song, believe it or not, back when the album like in 2014 when the album came out. So yeah, I was edgy, you can tell. So yeah, the next book, I'm gonna be fast. This is the only one I have like a copy to show, and which is the copy I read. Like, I'm so happy. You can tell I only read The Picture of Dorian Gray, because the rest of the books are like, here ends and the rest is so clean. They're like, oh well, I read the poem, but the rest of the stories are like, are not stories, are plays. The rest of the plays are so clean. But yeah, The Picture of Dorian Gray, one of my favorite classics. And for this book, I have Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey. I don't think I need to explain the plot of this book, but if you don't know, it's basically a classic by the famous Oscar Wilde, my baby. And it basically tells the story about this guy named Dorian Gray. And he's kind of manipulated, but also he's like corrupted. It's like a corruption arc, and it's telling the story of how he contemplates how in the future he's going to lose his beauty because he's young and beautiful and stuff. And so he says that he will exchange like his soul, kind of like sell his soul technically, like if only he could remain beautiful. And a portrait that's done at the beginning of himself stays like, it's the one that goes ugly, because obviously you take a picture, the picture stays beautiful, and you grow old, you go through life. So he kind of makes like, he kind of says like, I want to stay beautiful and young, whatever. And obviously it happens. So that's what the book is about. And the ending, I cannot, like, I finished the book and I was like, what? So yeah, Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey. I even listened to the song while writing my review, which you can look up. And the preface, I wasn't annotating at the beginning, but after I read the preface, I was like, I have to annotate. And you can like look at, I annotated, and then there's like tabs. Oh my god, oh yeah. Amazing book, favorite classic, one of my favorite books. So next we have My Dark Vanessa. I recently read My Dark Vanessa because I'm preparing a video, and I will not say a lot about it, but I needed to read My Dark Vanessa. And if you don't know, this is a story about, basically it's a story about grooming and how it has affected, like how it affects like the victims. Like, it's not a thing of like their childhood or their like adolescent years. Like, it carries for life. And so the main character, Vanessa, we're following her for like 17 years. It's a lot of time we're with her. Like the chapters are years, and so you're in 2017, that's like the present, and you're following her as an adult with 30 years, and you're seeing her younger when she was 14 in 2000s, and you keep moving on like in time. And oh my god, I think the song Boys Will Be Boys by Dua Lipa also can fit this book maybe. But yeah, whatever. The song I put are Teacher's Pet by Melanie Martinez, and that song it's like telling, it's, well, I feel it's about grooming. I don't know what people put online it's about. I will look it now. I should have studied first, but I didn't. Yeah, it's about inappropriate relationship between a student and a teacher. Okay, well, here says it's about how he gives her good grades in exchange for sexual favors, but regardless of it all, it's wrong because you're the adult, you shouldn't be with a child. So also for that book, I have the song Your Power by Billie Eilish, and it's like try not to abuse your power. And I think it fits the book for the quote that she says in the first verse, that it's like, but you ruined her in a year. Don't act like it was hard. And I feel like it fits perfectly the book. So yeah, again, trigger warnings. It's not only sad, it's a strong book, and it shouldn't be read like if it's triggering at all. Any topics of sexual abuse or grooming, like you shouldn't read it at all. But it's great. Like I love the writing a lot, and it made me a lot, like it had me thinking about a lot of things I never thought about before. So yeah, there's also the next book. It's Cersei. I mentioned Cersei before, I think, in my wrap up, so I read it also recently. And it basically, I think this song I found that fits, it's Another by Lorde, and it's Yellow Flicker Beat, and it's how she's saying, like the beginning, I'm a princess cut for marble. And I know this song is from like the Hunger Games, I think. Yeah, it's for the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I went to the movies to see that one, and it was, yeah, I love that song. I love Lorde again. They used to shout my name, now they whisper it. It's like, I love how that song like embodies the whole female rage, and I think that's what Cersei's going for. Like, she deserves to be enraged, obviously, but also the song, like, Katniss was also angry. Within reason, right? So, okay. The next, if you don't know what Cersei is about, it's basically a retelling of Greek mythology by Madeline Miller, the author of The Son of Achilles. Okay, I'm back, but I had to tie my hair because I was sweating like crazy, so I'm sorry. And if I turn anything like, even if I open a window, it's gonna get in the video, and I don't want that. But whatever, Cersei, it's like a retelling of this daughter of Helios and Percy and the daughter of Oceanus. And so she's like kind of part Titan, and she's banished to an island, and we follow like her journey in that island. So yeah, that's what Cersei is about, basically. If you haven't read Greek myths, like, you will get it anyways. But I recommend reading The Son of Achilles first, even though it's not necessary, but you will feel it more if you read The Son of Achilles first, I think. Vedas, stop it. My next book is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I think I haven't talked about this book much, but it's one of my favorite books. I know I love unreliable narrators that are like kind of villainy. I love those, and unlikable. Those are my favorite characters, so I'm sorry. I love the main character. She doesn't even have a name, like in Fight Club, and it's like a satire. I love Fight Club, and I'm also gonna mention Fight Club in this video, so you'll hear about it soon enough. But it's like this song from Harry Styles, and it's called From the Dining Table, and it's from his debut solo album that it's self-titled, and it's it's kind of a song, sad, depressed song, but since the beginning, I feel like it's connected to my year of rest and relaxation. It says, "Woke up alone in this hotel room, played with myself. Where were you? Fell back to sleep. I got drunk by noon. I've never felt less cool." And so this book is about a girl who is depressed, like a lot, and she decides that, basically tricking her psychiatrist, she decides that she's going to sleep for a year, and once she wakes up she's going to feel like new and every problem will be fixed. So yeah, it's about her journey to taking medication, and it's a disaster. So yeah, and it's also like in the same years of My Dark Vanessa, like in the 2000s, early 2000s, even though My Dark Vanessa goes until 2017, but it's like in that time. So the next book is Ninth House from Lee Bardugo. If you, oh my god, I think I haven't been saying the authors. I will put it in the screen anyways, but I'm sorry. So Ninth House from Lee Bardugo is one of my favorite dark academias, and like the picture of Dorian Gray. And I read it first. I read it before reading Dorian Gray, and it's basically about, well, if you don't know, Lee Bardugo studied in jail, so it's about like the secret societies of jail, but there's like magic involved. So we have our main character whose name is Galaxy Stern, and we follow her, and she has like a special ability. She forms part, like there are 8 houses. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, there are like 8 houses, but she's part of the 9th house, which is like a house that it's like the security of the university, and it monitors like all the supernatural activities of other like not fraternities, societies. So yeah, it's about that, and so it's from this house because she has a special ability, which is this: she can see ghosts. This also, it's dark academia, so trigger warnings there. There's a lot of stuff. Like people love this book, and always like obviously I was like, people told me like you need to read trigger warnings, and I did, and it was okay. Like I could read it, but oh my god. It had me crying sometimes. So yeah, but it's an amazing book, and this song I think that fits it. It's Still Don't Know My Name by Labyrinth from the Euphoria soundtrack season 1. And I don't know, I feel like it fits the aesthetic, the dark academia aesthetic more than anything. I know, I feel like it fits with all that's happening in Ninth House. So if you haven't heard this song, which I don't think it's possible because everyone's heard it, even if you haven't watched Euphoria because it was trending even on TikTok, but it's like this one. So that's it. It has like the vibes. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation, which is one of my favorite romance books. I was going to talk about Beach Read, but I decided against that and talk better about People We Meet on Vacation because I have a better song for People We Meet on Vacation, even though I love Beach Read more, I think. I don't know. But yeah, People We Meet on Vacation, I think the song is You're in Love by Taylor Swift. And did I just mention Taylor once? Oh my god, that's so weird. Oh my god, I forgot to say, but about My Dark Vanessa, there's like a playlist that's amazing, and if I don't forget about it, I will leave it in the description. I follow the playlist and I love that. So People We Meet on Vacation, it's like a friends to lovers romance. That's my favorite kind of trope. Friends like in romance, friends to lovers. I love it. So People Moving on Vacation, it's about these two people, Poppy and Alex, and they always go together on vacations like every summer, every year. But something happened like some time ago, and they haven't been on vacations for some time together. And we are like reading One Last Vacation where they try like to revive the friendship and see if it'll work, whatever. So we are alternating between like one chapter is in the past with like the old vacations, and we are in the present vacation. And so we're trying to get like to the last vacation where they like distance themselves and why it happened. So yeah. Obviously, if you haven't heard about this song, like where are you living? But it's when she says, "Passes, then says, you're my best friend, and you knew what it was, he is in love." I love that song. It's from 1989, obviously, but we do not have Taylor's version. That's so sad. Yet. So yeah, I love that book. It's one of my favorite books, 5-star read. Anything else to say? I don't think so. And everyone that it's not a romance reader and read this book always likes it, because it's like the characters are actually likable, even though we have like a conflict that I didn't like in the end, like a third act conflict. And I was like, that's why I love more beach read. You'll see when you read it, if you read it, if you haven't read it, because if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Then I have two more books left, and those are Fight Club, which I will talk fast about this one. So Fight Club, it's basically the story of this man who sells like, well, he inspects, I think, yeah, like, how to say that, insurance, that's how you say it. Yeah, he works on that, whatever. And you're following him. I shouldn't be talking about this book, because rule 1 about Fight Club, you do not talk about Fight Club, but I don't give a fuck. So it's about this man who doesn't have a name, the main character, like in My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and we are following him with like how he meets a guy named Tyler Durden who's taking him like down a destructive bed. And the song I chose, it's called Tyler Durden by Madison Beer, and it's like telling one part of the song, like, with my fingers in your mouth, you only speak in vowels and I like it. And so the chorus is like, I'm in love with Tyler Durden, that's why this shit ain't never working for me, I'm in love with a fantasy. And there's also a film that came out in 1999, my birth year, and it's with Brad Pitt, and it's one of my favorite movies too. I know that's kind of a red flag, but I love Fight Club, so yeah. And last, we have Call Me By Your Name, because I had to mention it. And for Call Me By Your Name, we have 3 songs. Yeah, I went off. Like, we have Perfect Places by Lord, which I think that fits the aesthetic. Like, Are You Lost Enough? Have Another Drink, Get Lost in Us. I almost didn't read them, I think. I'm sorry, I cannot help it. And I think it fits like the aesthetic of the book. If you don't know, it's about like, how do you explain Call Me By Your Name? It's like a queer romance technically, but it's about this guy, Elio. So he every year like goes to a vacation in a little town in Italy with his family. Like, they have like a summer home, whatever. And so they go together there and stay there. His father is like a professor and whatever. Yeah, he's a genius. And his mom too. And they're like so educated. It's kind of academia if you consider it, but not dark, I guess. And so every year there's like an exchange student. So this year's exchange student, it's named Oliver, and it's like the romance and the ups and downs. But trigger warnings, first of all, it's kind of awkward, and sometimes like you can watch the movie also, but it has Armie Hammer, so you're warned. but I was gonna say she who, but it's like uncomfortable because of the age difference. So yeah, but it's beautifully written, and I love that a lot. Whatever. So the songs I have, the other song I have is Strawberry Fields by the Beatles, and Strawberry Fields Forever. Did I say Strawberry Fields? I think like this fits like when they go together, like away, the two of them. If you've seen the movie, it fits like the aesthetic of the movie more now that I think about it. But it's also a beautiful song, and it has like such beautiful vibes. I don't think any of the lyrics that like fit the book that much. Maybe they do. I'm not looking at the lyrics in that one. And last but not least, I think Fooling Myself by Dana Williams. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I heard this song the first time in a movie called Something Great on Netflix. And it's like, it took a lot to introduce myself. I had to put my heart up on the shelf. I didn't know that it could be so hard. And I hope that time doesn't pass us by, or am I fooling myself? So I feel like it's such a short song, but I feel like that one fits like the plot of Call Me By Your Name, technically. Obviously from the point of view of Elio. If you read it or watched the movie. I love the movie, also one of my favorite movies. The only movie I can watch like that's so long, and I watched it like 3-4 times, even though it's so long. Also Pride and Prejudice, obviously. I love that movie. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this book. That was the last book. I hope you liked the video. As I said, I'm gonna leave down below my Goodreads if you wanna check it out. And my review of The Picture of Dorian Gray is a mess, but you should go and read it. And also I'm gonna leave the playlist. I think I mentioned another playlist. For which book was it? Oh yeah, The Infernal Devices. It's a short playlist so far, but I'm adding songs still. I need to reread it, I think, to add more songs. But yeah, The Infernal Devices playlist and my Dark Vanessa, if I remember to put it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video, whenever that is.